Here's an AMI This Week shortcut with Laura Bain.
Have you ever heard the sounds of birds outside your window and wondered what species you might be hearing and what they were saying? Birds Canada, a national not-for-profit, is offering a new free online course called Birdability, Birding by Ear. And what's really exciting is that it's been designed for people who are blind or partially sighted. Here's a clip.
Canada goose. This bird can be as tall as a desk. It has a plump body, short black legs with webbing on the toes, and a long neck. The bill is a few inches long and blunt-tipped, and they have a black head with a very characteristic white chin strap.
That was the voice of Andrés Jiménez, Urban Program Coordinator for Birds Canada. He created the course, and he's joining me now from his home in Toronto to tell us more. Andrés, thank you so much for joining me.
Laura, thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
So I recently went through the course and I really enjoyed it. I found it interesting and kind of relaxing as well. I'm wondering, why did you want to create the course?
Our goal for the last year has been to identify barriers that keep people away from nature and working towards eroding them, particularly with birds, because we work with the conservation of birds and the enjoyment of birds. And in that thinking, we realized that the people that were the farther away from nature were people with special needs, and particularly people who were blind or that had low vision.
And what can someone expect to learn when they go through the lessons?
They can expect to learn first why birds are so absolutely wonderful. We try to describe birds within the human experience. So how does it feel to be a bird? How does it feel to grab from a branch? Or how does it feel to fly like a bird? And we attempt to do this in one of the first lessons. And then we provide the basics of how to identify birds using sounds, going into things like speed, tone, what is the difference between a call and a song. And we build a set of tools for people to start knowing how to listen to birds, remembering their calls, and then possibly identifying them.
When I think of birding, I don't really think of it as being very accessible. I think of someone walking through the woods, looking through a pair of binoculars. But how can birding be something that anyone can do regardless of their ability level?
Well, I sure hope that the course is one step on making it such. Every one of us can find ways of enjoying nature that are suitable for us. And we only need to step outside to start enjoying it. And so the course is our first tool for people that are maybe farther away from nature. And we trust that this resource, and we hope to hear from the people taking the course, we trust that this resource will really take them into bringing a new world into their sphere. Birds help you know where the tall trees are or where the hydropoles are. If you learn the species, they help you know where the water is, what type of environment is surrounding you. And so with sounds, you can read the world around you.
And how applicable is the course to people all across the country? I know you designed it to focus on birds that you would hear within the Greater Toronto area.
I would say that there's only 2 lessons that might be less applicable, but if you're in Vancouver and you take the course, you will still learn how to do birding by ear. You would still learn which resources you need. And as long as you use the resources to find a sound guide of the most common birds around you, you'll be fine.
What's the biggest thing that you're hoping people will take away from the course?
That birds are good for you and that you can be good for birds. So in 10 years from now, we can still have a world full of songs.
And if someone wants to learn more or maybe sign up and take the course, how can they do that?
They can go to www.birdscanada.org/learn.
That's great. And I know, as I say, I certainly enjoyed it and I found it really accessible. And I've noticed that I've started listening a lot more when I'm out for my walks to the birds that I'm hearing around me. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today and talking to us about the course.
Laura, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the fantastic conversation. And most important, thank you for sharing the word about this course. We want as many people to join in as possible, and we want to produce more courses so people will have an even more enriched experience of nature.